Pile number 4, welcome to your reading. Wars and battles, wars and battles. Let's take a minute. I had a hard time starting this one, you guys, because my heart was just breaking in a million pieces for the tremendous love that you all have, for the endless giving, for the beautiful hearts that you have. There are going to be many cards. This may be many videos. I'll talk more about that later, but right now, I want to focus on the wars and battles. If you chose pile number 4, if you were drawn to the imagery or you were drawn to the words, whatever it was that drew you to this pile, this is the past. This is the one thing from one of your past lives that is holding you back from moving forward in this life. And because this is a mass reading for many people, there's all different cards and there's going to be different messages. So take what you need, leave behind what you don't, whatever resonates with you. I'm not going to read all of the cards, but some of them I am going to be drawn to read. Right now, I'm going to start with the Wars and Battles card. So take a minute, close your eyes, take in some deep breaths while I read this card, and just, whatever pings, you know what I mean? If there's anything that like sticks out more than something else, that's the issue that you particularly need to work on. And throughout the reading will help you, lead you to the actual life that is afflicting your progress right now. So keep your eyes closed. This card indicates that you suffered or were killed in a war in previous lifetimes. Your unconscious will tell you whether you were a soldier, an officer, or a civilian who was a casualty during a battle. That lifetime could have turned you into a pacifist, or it could have made you conflict phobic, and you cannot stand any measure of violence or even loud noises. Conflict phobia prevents relationships from deepening, as part of the authenticity stems from sharing your true feelings with each other. Conversely, that lifetime may have filled your heart with anger and the desire for revenge. In such a case, you would have difficulty controlling your temper. This may even lead to addictions in your attempts to bring about peace. If you have that natural warrior spirit, it's important to channel it in a peaceful and constructive way. For instance, being an activist for positive social change, or maybe a legal advocate who champions underdogs. So that's the description in the past life card. I almost wish I could stop right here for you guys and just be like, okay. Because as I was going through these cards, there was so much pain and suffering. So much pain and suffering. So much that I was like, wow, like so much unneeded pain and suffering. Now, just so you know, each one of these piles resonated with me. As I said in the beginning video, you may resonate with one pile, 2 piles, all of them. If you're in this tribe, you're a really powerful, prolific healer. So it wouldn't surprise me if you were touched by all 5. I know for myself, all 5. I mean, the craziest thing was when I was pulling these cards, it took me like hours to pull this reading together. And it was so amazing. I felt like afterwards I was like exhausted, because I was just like, oh my gosh, and just crying and just like realizing the pain and suffering in our tribe and like what our past life stuff that's holding us back and how much we're all linked to each other in our past lives. We are really deeply linked to each other in our past lives. And, if you're here in this tribe, obviously we've, shared a life together. But with some of us, we've shared many lifetimes together. That's why when we find each other, we just are like, oh my gosh, I feel like I've known you my entire life. Like, this is crazy. And you don't want to ever not talk to that person. And yeah, that's because you've spent many lifetimes together and it's like, oh, I found you. I'm not alone. Right. Because you're used to, especially in this lifetime, right? Like you were probably with people. I just heard not necessarily. The raven just told me not necessarily. The raven's in the background. The raven's always talking. That's awesome. So we're gonna get to that, and that's the thing. It's like, not everything is going to resonate with you, but there's some really deep rooted knowledge here. And the first three cards are present because I feel, from what I'm getting from the ancestors, especially, I really called in the ancestors that we've fought with before, that we've been through battles before, whether it was physical, mental, emotional, whatever it was. I asked them to come in, and they're still coming. I just heard this. I swear to God, I just heard somebody go, "Oh, excuse me," but they're still coming in. I feel like there's like chairs moving around. People are sitting down. Seriously, it's like a town meeting, it's like, here. You know what I mean? Like, we're all here. Everybody's here. There's a lot of spirit guides, a lot of angels, a lot of ancestors that are present right now. Lots of archangels, starseeds. There's so many. I can go on and on and on. And those of you that are in this group are also a very special group that aren't really from here. And you're not really from the starseed system. You're from somewhere even more prolific. And we'll get into that later. So the middle card I had to keep there because it's the Spirit Keeper of the North. Now, when I did this, they're not telling me to pull the Wars and Battles card forward yet. But for this one, they want you to look at it. It's early, so my lighting's not super good in here. I apologize. But you see the full moon? Oh, okay. They're like, you don't have to... Okay, but you see the full moon? I did this on March 9th on the full moon. You guys are going to see this. Well, you're going to see it whenever you see it, but I'm posting it on Friday the 13th, 3/13/2020. But also, if you notice, it's a winter scene, right? I was about to move it and they said, don't touch it. I'm like, okay. It's like because they want you to like see this part. It's the winter scene. We're in the last dregs of winter. And even if you're seeing this in spring, fall, whatever, it's like you must be in the last like dregs of winter of your shadow or something, like meaning like you're at the end of something. It's the culmination. But for those of you who are going to watch it right now, I could tell you, we just came off a really powerful week. And I've been wanting to do these readings sooner, but today is actually the 10th. And Spirit said, I want you to draw attention to the 10th. And I said, okay. And I said, excuse me, I take that back. No, today is 3/12/2020. Tomorrow will be Friday the 13th, 3/13. Thank you, Spirit. And so what they were saying is that today is comes out to the number 10. So it's the month is 3, the day is 12. So 3, 4, 1 and 2 is 3, you know what I mean? That's 6. And then 2020, the year is 4. So that's the number 10. And so the Spirit Keeper of the North, it's like the end of a cycle, right? It's the end of, there's this part in it says, your native spirit wants you to know, in the medicine wheel, the north is the direction that symbolizes the darkest time of night, the coldest part of winter, and the dark of the moon. It also represents the elder time of life and even a time of endings. Pulling the Spirit Keeper of the North indicates that it's time to take measure of your life. Explore what's working and what's not working. What and whom do you need to release? It's also the time to make repairs in your physical environment, as well as make repairs to your body. Additionally, this is the time to begin to dream and make plans regarding your future. Your ancestors are close at this time. Call on them. They're saying, please call on them. They want to help you. The journey is to stand outdoors at night, facing north. Inhale the darkness. Sink into your own depth. In the stillness, ancient wisdom emerges. So this card is all about taking time for contemplation, turning within, connecting with the ancestors, incubating ideas, mending relationships, watching your dreams, meditation. The answers are waiting to be heard, they say. Stay warm, create dreams for your future, repair whatever is broken in your home and your life. Forgive those people and situations that you've been dragging around for a while. Yeah, it's like for some of you, now they want this to come forward. It's interesting. For me personally, I'm having a really hard time with the Confederate flag right now because certain family members of mine are just, floating that flag around because they said that's their heritage. And I'm having a really rough time with that. It's something I have to look into, my past with this. But it's not just about the Confederacy or, us versus them. This isn't about race or color or any of that, even though that's what it feels like. You know what I mean? And when I see this card, it makes me think of that. It makes me think of the race war and all that. But also at the bottom here, earlier, I noticed that this kind of reminded me of two different things. First, I saw hooded like men. I literally saw a lot of masculinity in this card, and I saw like hooded men and then the Confederate flag. So like my head was going. But then after a while, I started to look at it, and it actually looks like two hands, like on a sword. And so they're also saying like this wars and battle card is not just about that. This is about past life. And this isn't just about the North and South of the United States. This card goes so deep. This is like Asian. Like I seriously saw like, like Chinese, like, what's that? There's a name for the Chinese warrior, and it's not samurai. That's Japanese, but I'm pretty sure. Anyway, if I'm wrong, please forgive me. But you know what I'm saying? It's like far beyond that. Like I saw Vikings, I saw pirates, and like it's all about battles and wars, and it's all different times. So for each of you, it's going to be different. So when you saw that card, like what resonated with you? What did you see instantly? Did you see an old, like a Viking, ancestor fighting? Did you see a musket? It's like, did you see a samurai sword? Like, what did you see? Like what, like, and when you thought of wars and battles, was it an inner battle with yourself? I mean, this card is like, I feel like this pile, this group, it's like far beyond just that, even though they're saying like to get in touch with that past life. Yes. Like they want you to like, have that at the same time. It's much deeper than that. And that's why we're going to like jump over to the bear. And it's interesting because, I feel like this is about completion, spirit keeper of the North. It almost goes in direction because the bear is actually, he's the direction for west. And there's a lot of masculinity in this reading. And so the bear is all about introspection and going inward, right? And what did they just say in Spirit Keeper of the North about going inward? You may have gotten an automatic ping and that's the answer, but you may have actually, like, I'm told to turn this right now, like maybe you were a Native American and you were in a battle, because before this I listened to one of my favorite Native American music chants, and I'll see if I can find it. But anyway, if you're interested in it, ask down below and I'll find it for you. Otherwise I'll just pass it by. But yeah, I mean, there's so much going on. It's not just like some of these readings were like more heavier, like Native American medicine, or some of them were more like, like Celtic, like pile number 2 was Celtic. And so it was all about like that part of Europe. This is like all over the world. This isn't just like, even when I was reading the Spirit Keeper of the North card, there was a description on the bottom that said, if you live in the southern, hemispheres or whatever, stand in the opposite direction, whatever, blah, 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 but so it's like, clearly there's a lot going on, and it's not just that. So we'll get into it. So the bear says, invite me into the cave where silence surrounds the answers you gave. The strength of bear medicine is the power of introspection. It lies in the west on the great medicine wheel of life. Bear seeks honey or the sweetness of truth within the hollow of an old tree. In the winter, when the ice queen reigns and the face of death is upon the earth, bear enters the womb cave to hibernate to digest the year's experience. It is said that our goals reside in the west also. To accomplish the goals and dreams that we carry, the art of introspection is necessary. Oh, it's like I felt like they did that on purpose so that I would read it as a rhyme. To become like bear and enter the safety of the womb cave, we must attune ourselves to the energies of the eternal mother and receive nourishment from the placenta of the great void. The great void is the place where all solutions and answers live in harmony with the questions that fill our realities. If we choose to believe that there are many questions to life, we must also believe that the answers to these questions reside within each of us. Each and every being has the capacity to quiet the mind, enter the silence, and know. Many tribes have called this space of inner knowing the dream lodge, where the dream of the illusion of physical reality overlays the expansiveness of eternity. It is in the dream lodge that our ancestors sit in council and advise us regarding alternative pathways that lead to our goals. This is the power of bear. And Spirit wants me to say, for some of you, they're saying like, it's like you keep beating your head against the wall, so to speak. Like, you know, you have these goals and dreams that you want. You have these aspirations of like who you see yourself as or who you want to be. However, you're taking, they're saying like you're taking the knowledge that you have and you're trying to go in that direction, but it's not working. See how my throat chakra keeps, they're saying, let's take a sip of water. Let's take a break. Sip of water. Okay. When I looked down, it was 1524. I'm going to have to look up that angel number. But you know, it's redundant, but it's so true. You know, if you give what you always give, you'll get what you always got. And if you are continuing to try and move forward on your path without trying to learn new things, or if you're too stubborn to seek out, you know, counsel, or, you know, if you're allowing your other people to influence you instead of like standing up, it's like, you know, I almost feel like some of you have released your ego completely, which is kind of cool. I know it's a tough one for me I'm working on, but at the same time, you do need some ego to live. So, you know, you ain't nobody's bitch. You know what I mean? Like you stand up for yourself. Like if there's something that you really believe in, and you and the person that you've been studying with, like you guys don't even know how many times, like I've worked with so many different healers and shamans, and I've either walked away from them or they've walked away from me. And I've learned like, you can't take it personally because it's not personal. You know, it's like you'll either come back around again or you won't. But sometimes you only walk with certain people for a while. And then when you're done with that, then you need to move on, because you're only going to get as much medicine from that individual as your higher self and their higher self are willing to go. It's like, okay, that was in your soul contract. That's what was meant to be. But now it's time to move on. And they're saying this also goes with people. I don't know if they're going to have me read more of the bear, but they're asking me to pull some other cards right now. And so, because they're saying it's going to, you'll understand. Oh, see, by changing, look at this, a new moon eclipse. See that little blip right here? That's you. But you're being eclipsed by these other people. Not bad. Not good. Not in, you know, there's no bad or good. It doesn't matter, because it's not about that. You know what I mean? It's not about that. But if you move out on your own, if you're brave enough to go out on your own and seek other people, seek other, you know, teachers, whatever, then expect powerful change, and it will be received. But you have to expect powerful change. You can't just, hem and haw and wish and hope, wishing and hoping and doing, that old song from like the 50s or 60s. Yeah, it's like you're just sitting around wishing and hoping, and you're expecting powerful change, but you're not realizing like you have to go out and get the powerful change. But in order for you to get that powerful change, right, we need to find out like what is going on within. What is your inner battle? What is from your past life that you're still fighting? What is it? Like they said in the beginning, you could have just been a casualty. You might have just been in your town and living life and having a great fucking time. And then here comes this war. Or maybe like these soldiers came through your town and pillaged your town and your women and children. You know what I mean? Like, and you couldn't do anything about it. And like, so you're feeling like this suffering, but you don't know why. Or you feel like helpless, but you don't know why. You're feeling like this conflict phobia. You don't want to fight with somebody because if you do, you'll get killed or murdered. There's a lot around this pile, you guys. That's why I said there might be multiple videos. You've seen like it's just, this is what's happening right now. And so the interesting thing is I pulled these cards on the full moon, but only you will know which full moon. Oops, look at that. And it didn't even burn. Wow. Oh, that's because they wanted this first. See, because you're the wounded healer. And that fucking candle didn't even go out. Did you see that? That's awesome. This one needs to come down. The wounded healer. This is the card that made me cry. And you can look at this in so many different ways. But I'm putting the words down because they want you to see the serenity of what you can have if you allow yourself to, to surrender, and you're the wounded healer. I'm like, and I'm not saying it like that because this is for me too. Like I said, every pile was really special to me too and touched me too, and I had a lot of my own stuff. We've been here many times. We've been through many wars. Oh, my whole body's a tingle right now. They're like, yeah, cry, get it out. So I want you to close your eyes right now. I want you to be calm. Take a minute, take a breath. I'm going to hit a bell, but I'm going to hit it gently so you're not surprised. But keep your eyes closed for a minute, my sweet wounded healers. Beautiful. You feel a little bit better? We're trying to clear that energy away. All right, now keep your eyes closed, and I'm going to read this card because, like I said, it's going to resonate with each of you differently. So keep your eyes closed. Get out what you need to get out. Most likely you're watching this by yourself, and if you're not, go somewhere, where you could be alone. But I want you to release whatever needs to be released. This card is healing energy. Vitality and life force energy are flowing through you and to you. You are a healer, and you provide healing for others even if you're not conscious of it. Whatever needs healing in your life is being resolved. Your so-called faults are becoming your virtues. That's right? Our strengths. No matter what happened in your past, the past does not need to equal the future. And it's true. The cracks can be where the light enters the soul. Your native spirit wants you to know the wounded healer is a tradition in native cultures that asserts that some of the greatest healers are those who have gone through hardship and survived, or who have been wounded and healed. It's believed that these individuals can provide great solace and can instigate profound healing for others. You may have been wounded in your life, or you may have gone through challenging times, but the roots go deepest where the roots go deepest where the wind blows strongest. You are a healer in the most profound sense of the word. Healing energy is surging through you. Whatever in your life needs healing is being addressed on the inner realms. Your strength lies in the difficulties that you've overcome. The journey is: list each of your wounds or challenges from the past. Then next to each one, write down what came out of that situation that was of benefit. Additionally, repeat again and again, I am a healer and I am healed, so be it. So you can go ahead and open your eyes, and if you want to pause this right now and go and get pen and paper, I'll repeat this again so you can write it down. Okay. Also, I just wanted to say that it's interesting that they had me look at the page number that was on, the mantra, and it's on page 126, which comes out to the number 9, which is at the end of completion, right? So I'm going to say this again. So list each of your wounds or challenges from the past. Anything that came up, you guys, whether it's during this reading, you may be taking notes now. Then next to each one, write down what came out of that situation that was of benefit. And then repeat again and again. Write down this mantra. Put it on a Post-it. Keep it in your bathroom. I'm going to actually rabbit ear this for myself. I'm going to do the same. And put on a Post-it, I am a healer, ... and I am healed, period. So be it, period. Nice. All right, you guys. That was amazing. Yeah, the wounded healer, right? So I'm going to pull some more cards because they're not ready to go back to. Oh, here we go. And Leo, beautiful lion, wants to come forward. So some of you, maybe you are a Leo. Maybe you are a Leo. But confidence is your key to success. This is for new moon in Leo. And it doesn't necessarily have to be that time, but maybe the new moon in Leo is when things are going to really come together for you, for some of you. I don't believe there are no such thing as coincidences. So if you, and you're all healers and seers like I am, so if something came to you, oh, I heard the lion wants to be in the middle, then, then so be it. But confidence is your key to success. And if you don't know, research Leos. Leos, Leos are wonderful. I'm a fire sign too. And the Leos, I both love, but also drive me crazy. I'm so in love with Leos because they're so in love with themselves. And I say that in a good way because confidence is good, right? But they're also saying, but it's one thing to be confident, but then there's one thing to like throw your ego into it. It's like confidence comes from within, right? Like, so they're saying for you to bring your lion forward, in order to bring your lion forward, to work with that, pride of the lion, you need to work with your wounds as well. And what happens is for some of you, they're showing me like, you puff up like a Leo, or you puff up like everything, but in the background, or, when you're home by yourself, you don't feel like that. You're putting a fake face out to the world, and they're saying, but they want you to put your real face on. And sometimes you're the wounded healer, and sometimes you're the bear. You know what I mean? And actually they're having me go back to the bear. And they're saying the female receptive energy, oh, that's why, because we were talking about so much masculine energy. And when I was talking about that, Spirit told me, don't worry, there's a good divine. Because I'm like, well, the raven's here. And I feel like the raven is, the raven's all about magic and the feminine wisdom. So I knew there was that, but I didn't realize that the bear, the female receptive energy that for centuries has allowed visionaries, mystics, and shamans to prophecy, is contained in this very special bear energy. In India, the cave symbolizes the cave of Brahma. Brahma's cave is considered to be the pineal gland that sits in the center of the 4 lobes of the brain. If one were to imagine an overview of the head, the top of it would be a circle. The south would be the forehead, the north the back of the skull, the west would be the right brain, and the east the left brain. Bear is in the west, the intuitive side, the right brain. To hibernate, bear travels to the cave, which is the center of the 4 lobes where the pineal gland resides. In the cave, bear seeks answers while she is dreaming or hibernating. Bear is then reborn in the spring, like the opening of spring flowers. For eons, all seekers of the dream time and visions have walked the path of silence, calming the internal chatter, reaching the place of rites of passage. The channel or pineal gland from the cave of bear, you find the pathway to the dream lodge and the other levels of imagination or consciousness. In choosing bear, the power of knowing has invited you to enter the silence and become acquainted with the dream lodge so that your goals may become concrete realities. This is the strength of bear. Also, I looked down at 2804. Also, Spirit wanted me to, they're like 2804, the number 12. Yes, because we're still talking about this 1212 portal. But the other thing that Bear wanted me to talk about was that for some of you, when they're talking about going inward, it is meditation. I know not everybody can do what I'm doing. You know what I mean? I understand that. I don't have children. I do have that luxury to be able to like haul myself off in a camper in the middle of nowhere while I'm, going through this massive awakening for, and writing these novels, for this massive awakening that's happening on the planet. I understand that. But for some of you that have children, this was specifically for mama bears. This is a specific shout out for mama bears, papa bears. Sorry, I didn't mean to make that I didn't mean to be sexist about that. But you know what I'm saying? But I got a lot of, some of you females that I know, it was like all these mama bears that I know were flying through my head. That's why I said that. But I heard that for the littles, and for some of you, your littles don't understand yet, like what you're doing. Like sometimes you need alone time or you want to meditate or whatever, and your littles are like, but I want to be with you, and I want to be with you guys from 16 Candles. and they don't understand. So they're saying you can use this as a really great teaching tool for your little cubs by saying like, you know what, I'm going to go into my little bear cave right now. I'm going to meditate in my mind in my bear cave. And you can, explain the Dream Lodge and all that to them. Research Dream Lodge. One of my shamans that I walked with, Native American shaman, really introduced me to the Dream Lodge, and there's nothing like it. The Dream Lodge is like the most magnificent place, and it's different for everybody. So as you're falling asleep, well, actually, I don't want to say anymore. I want you to, like they're saying, like, do that on your own. But yeah, so for the littles to, and then for some of you, I'm hearing for some of you that have older littles that are starting to meditate, that's also a great tool to teach the littles. Or maybe you're somebody who works with children, maybe you're a preschool teacher, or, you have nieces and nephews and you're trying to teach them, spirituality, whatever it is. I'm hearing, that. And oh my gosh, how cute. This is the first time Maddie's wanted to come in, and they're saying like, you can do it, with like tools. Like Maddie's like, hey guys, what's up? Hey, Maddie, where do you want to go? Oh my gosh, this is so cute. I didn't know Maddie was going to come in here. She's going to come back here. Oh, that's cool, Maddie. She wants to hang out with Turkey. All right. So yeah, using toys, using like whatever you need to make it work. They're saying, here, I'm going to move her right there. Whoop. Oopsie daisy. There we go. I love how I'm like, I don't, when they tell me to keep going, I keep going. When they tell me to stop, I stop. Okay. So yeah. So do you get that? I apologize for the disruption. But yeah, so like working with your littles and using toys and using like, other things. And also, this is something really important that they want me to bring in too. And this is not just for littles. This is for your friends, your family. Okay, they're saying this, we can stay here. We're done with Leo. Thank you, Leo. And using a talking stick. And I'm going to read the talking stick to you guys. And again, it's really personal to each person. Okay. I heard that these can go. Bear wants to stay. And talking stick wants to come up front because they're saying it's really important, the talking stick. Again, for some reason, this is for some of you. And again, it doesn't necessarily have to be for littles, but they brought that up. So like I said, I listen when they talk. Okay, so the talking stick, speak your truth. The soul loves the truth. Communicate from your heart and share your reality without hesitation. Be willing to stand before the crowd and share from your center. This isn't the time to be shy and hesitant. It's a time to heal through communication. You have the gift of a true leader through the way you communicate with others. Your native spirit wants you to know during tribal council meetings, a decorated stick called a talking stick would be passed around. As each council member held the stick, he or she had the opportunity to speak from the heart. Each person in attendance would be asked to weigh carefully the words of each speaker. The talking stick reminded each person to be authentic. Communication restores trust and allows you to clarify your ideas, position, and feelings. It can be healing when you share what has been withheld. Now is the time to take a risk and have the courage to speak with clarity. Be forthright. Share any unspoken darkness that lays heavy in the heart. There are times to hold back and be discerning, but this isn't one of them. Even if you're afraid, declare your truth for all to hear without fear of being rejected or misunderstood. When you do this, transformation and healing can occur. The journey is decorate a stick or a feather to use as your personal talking stick whenever you hold it. Let it be a sacred reminder to seek the truth within. Take a minute every day to take stock of where you are and to ask yourself about what is so in your life. Simply taking a moment to discover your inner truth can have a profound healing effect on your life. So yeah, like, having a talking stick, like for the family, or like if you want to teach your kids spirituality, there's a reason why it's a little disheveled over there. It's like, cause nothing's perfect, right? And Bear's ready to go. Nothing is perfect. Nothing is perfect. And working with the littles, or even working with your family members that like, how I've talked to you guys before about, you have to remember that like we're dealing with, people who are on a completely different level than you are, like you have to treat them like children. It sounds shitty and horrible to say, but it's not. It's not, like you have to treat them like children. So you say to people, like whoever it is in your family that you're having a hard time with, you say, listen, this is who I am. I'm not going to change. This is a part of my soul. This is a part of my soul contract. Oh, I saw 3424 when I looked down. And, you know, this is it. Basically, they're saying, however you need to do it, you know, like however you need to do it. Do you need to do it with like, you know, little toys and characters, you know, to, you know, if you haven't watched my other videos before, there's a really fun, awesome movie with Bill Murray and Richard Dreyfuss called What About Bob? And I highly recommend it. But one of the parts in the movie is Richard Dreyfuss plays a psychiatrist, and in order to talk to his children, he uses puppets. And it seems silly, but it does actually work. And so I'm getting that, like, for you guys, there's something in that, you know, like, so however, the talking stick can be anything you want it to be. It doesn't necessarily have to be like a traditional Native American talking stick or from whatever country, you know, you can research them, or, you know, whatever feels good to you. But however you do it, you need to do it with grace. The swan came in. Swans are all about grace. They're all about grace. And I wasn't sure if I was going to read the swan, but since I feel like it's calling to me, I'm going to. Swan. Interesting. I thought I dog-eared it and I didn't. Maybe because I know what it means. I mean, so it says swan, the power of woman. Oh, that's why they wanted me to open the book. Another female energy, which, I mean, obviously, I mean, look at how graceful and beautiful is. Such a female energy. Swan, the power of woman entering sacred space, touching future yet to come, bringing eternal grace. Oh, little swan flew through the dream time, looking for the future. She rested for a moment in the coolness of the pond, looking for a way to find the entry point to the future. This was a moment of confusion for Swan, as she knew that she had happened into the dreamtime by accident. This was her first flight alone, and she was a bit concerned by the dreamtime landscape. As Swan looked high above Sacred Mountain, she saw the biggest swirling black hole she had ever seen. Dragonfly came flying by, and Swan stopped him to ask about the black hole. Dragonfly said, "Swan, that is the doorway to the other planes of imagination." Ooh, my throat chakra. Ooh, get it out. Get it out, you guys. Wow. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Okay, listen. I try not to use fear-based words, but I'm feeling that. And it's in these cards. There's this push me, pull you with you guys. It's like, you know, this kind of like Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, you know. And actually the turkey is perfect for coming into this right now, because the actual term around the turkey is the giveaway, but it's also about balance. And even though the turkey is upright, I do feel like you guys are like, you're balanced, but you're not. Like, you know, if you look at the number 31 on the turkey, if you add them together, 4 is balanced, right? So you would have 4 legs to make a table, and you'd be balanced, it'd be centered, it'd be sturdy. But what I'm seeing is it's like the 3 is next to the 1. So you got a 3-legged table with like 1 leg that's like about to break. So it's that kind of table that you might put a few light things on, but like you wouldn't like put something heavy on it because you're like, oh no, that's going to break. It won't hold. So, you know what I mean? Like it's not going to hold. So, you know, that's what's happening right now. It's like you're trying to keep the balance within whatever situation, your family, your relationship, work, whatever it is, but it's not working for you. You're appeasing everybody else. You're trying so hard to make everybody else happy because you think, well, if I make everybody else happy, then I'll be happy. But then by the time you give out all that energy, and the raven's in the background saying, that's right, I'm in the fucking background again, because you're keeping your magic in the background. You know, and it's the same thing. It's like, you know, you've got the number 16. Well, 7's a beautiful, lucky number, you know, but at the same time, you've got 1 next to the 6. It's like, it wants to be lucky. It like wants it. It's like you believe in luck, you believe in magic, but you're just not quite there. You're just like one thing away from it. And the one thing that's holding you back is not talking about it. Not like, you know, being your true self. So Swan was not sure that she wanted to enter the black hole. She asked Dragonfly what was necessary for her to earn entry. Dragonfly replied, "You must be willing to accept whatever the future holds as it is presented without trying to change Great Spirit's plan." Even then, did you see that? I feel like I couldn't say the words because you guys were like, no, don't say it. It's like, you're like, no, don't say it. Well, like, it's like, you know all of these things. You've known all of these things. But it's like, you can't fuck around anymore. You know, like, I'm getting tough love on you guys. You know, like, this is the warrior battle part. Like, we've obviously gone to battle before, or maybe, you know, we've helped each other before, pepped each other up. So it's my turn to be your cheerleader, you know, and stop trying to change, you know, what's going to happen. If you see a vision, you know, getting to the vision may change 100 times before you get there. Even if you think you're laying a solid foundation or plan, it's not the plan that's actually going to suit you. So you need to let go of that a little bit, right? So Swan looked at her ugly little duckling body and then answered, I will be happy to abide by Great Spirit's plan. I won't fight the currents of the black hole. I will surrender to the flow of the spiral and trust what I am shown. Dragonfly was very happy with Swan's answer and began to spin the magic to break this pond's illusion. Suddenly, Swan was engulfed by a whirlpool in the center of the pond. Swan reappeared many days later, but now she was graceful and white and long-necked. Dragonfly was stunned. Swan, what happened to you? He exclaimed. Swan smiled and said, Dragonfly, I learned to surrender my body to the power of Great Spirit and was taken to where the future lives. I saw many wonders high on Sacred Mountain, and because of my faith and my acceptance, I have been changed. I have learned to accept the state of grace. Dragonfly was very happy for Swan. Swan told Dragonfly many of the wonders beyond the illusion. Through her healing and her acceptance of the state of grace, she was given the right to enter the dream time. So it is that we learn to surrender. Why is this? It's like, you guys don't want me to read this. This is so weird. And I don't feel like it's spirit. I feel like it's your energy. Like you won't accept who you are. And that's so interesting, because they're telling me, I know there's a card in here and they're telling me I'm allowed to pull that out right now. I bet it'll pull it out anyway. Oh, actually, they're saying we're going to go here first. So the Black Panther, and it's interesting, it's number 5 and 2, which is also the number 7, like the Raven. But sadly, Black Panther's in reversed. Wah, wah. But that's okay, because that's what the medicine's for, right? Like, sometimes we have to take our medicine, and sometimes the medicine doesn't taste good. But, you know, we need to, this is all about what is holding you back. And if you don't face what's holding you back, if you don't, like, your higher self is screaming at you right now. You know exactly, each of you individually know exactly what I'm talking about, or what spirits, I'm just the mouthpiece, the medium, but you know what spirit is saying to you. So the Black Panther is all about embracing the unknown, right? Magic. And the little poem is, "O midnight jaguar, wash me with your courage and steal me with your grace, so I may know the value of the void of time and space. Teach me all your lessons, how to face the dark unknown, then let me bravely leap into the shadows all alone." Now, it says, if this is in contrary, you may be seeing situation as black and white, good or bad, no middle ground, right? So it's like the turkey, right? It's like the balance. It's like you have a balance in your mind. You have these balance and checks of black and white, right and wrong, but you're not like flowing in between the shades of gray. I mean, look at the Black Panther. He's got shades of gray in his face. You know, he's not just black. And do you know that all Black Panthers are spotted like that? All of them. They're all spotted like that, but sometimes they're so dark that you can't see the spots, like in a photograph or whatever. But that's why, you know, and look at those eyes. But we need to figure out what's going on with that. Like, why is there no middle ground? It says, be free of mental presuppositions and expectations. It could be time to do some house cleaning. Let go of negative people, limiting thoughts, or any fear of being alone. If you are out of balance, your shadow may be creating demons of fear. Enter the stillness and refuse to surrender your personal authority to avoidance mechanisms, justifications, or mental gymnastics. Remember, the fear of what if will always keep you from enjoying the present moment, and life's gift is the present, right? Feeling jumpy, nervous, confused, paranoid, afraid of being alone, or somehow at risk? These feelings are the shadow's domain. This says to tell your shadow to get lost, but we're going to talk further about that. It says, tell your shadow to get lost. Then acknowledge and release any feelings of discomfort. Find the emptiness of the void and snuggle back into Black Panther's midnight fur. In all cases, you are reminded that every human being emerged from the darkness of the womb. You once felt the silence, and the ebony void of this nurturing space was the safest place to be, to just be, right? So, at one point before we came into this world, we were very snugly and happy in our mommy's wombs. We were very snugly and happy in that dark space. We didn't need to see anything. We felt everything. We were being nurtured by our mothers, but but somehow we lose that. The Black Panther is actually the king of the underworld. And when I first started my journey as a seer, one of my shamans, we worked heavily with spirit animals because she said, wow, you are really in touch with them. Because my very first journey to find my spirit animal, the Black Panther came to me, and she was like, wow, that's pretty profound. That it was like the Black Panther came to me and a cockatoo. Like the cockatoo came on my shoulder and the Black Panther, and we walked through the underworld together, and I met all these different spirit animals and stuff. But so there's so much magic in the Black Panther too. You guys are forgetting your magic. You're forgetting, or it's there, but you're not bringing it to the forefront. We're going to pull some more cards. Oh, the next one is the elk. I didn't know we were going to go this far into the spirit animals today, but we are. The elk is about strength and stamina, but it was in reverse as well. You've lost, and so I'm hearing, remember in the beginning, and the spirit keeper of the north talked about, the dark time and the meditation and all that. That's what the elk is saying, you've lost your steam. You're tired. You're done. You're just like, man, I'm just done. And I feel you. For some of us who do the spirit work every day or all the time, or, we're working diligently at it all the time. And for some of you who are juggling multiple lives at once, I don't do that anymore, but I can't. My physical body won't allow it. But, it's you've got to change. You have to make changes. And also they want me to bring this in. The answers you need are coming. The full moon in Gemini will be in December. So, if you really start confronting, and actually they're saying, there's, like Freddie Mercury says, time waits for nobody, right? So you're going to have to rebel a little bit. I love this. Oh, and look at that. The elk was number 3 and this card's number 30. Oh, isn't that sweet? And it's upright. And so it's you need to rebel a little bit. Look at that guy. He's like, fuck you, man. I want to ride a bike, but I don't know how. So I'm going to use my training wheels. And you see this card? It's hilarious. This card is awesome. And it could be a male, female, it doesn't matter. But it feels a very dude energy with the leather jacket. But it's so great. It's let your freak flag fly. You know what? The weirder and crazier you are, the better. Ooh, look at that. And it didn't go out again. Powerful. The answers you need are coming. But in order for you to be that, you have to be yourself, you guys. You have to be yourself. You have to let go of people, And also, you need to laugh. They're saying you're taking shit way too seriously. And that's number 14. And, that comes to the number 5. I love how the flame from the candle's on the pow from the, Also, I'm hearing for some of you guys, you're so close. You're so close. Like I said, this reading isn't, it's for so many different people. But some of you, you're so close that you're just pop goes the weasel. You're just going to pop out and people are going to freak out. Maybe you've been really quiet about it. And maybe, and now you're just you know what? You're right. Fuck it. I'm going to do it. I don't care. I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to do it, and I'm going to start dressing the way I want, and I'm just going to, because it takes one step, is there something you want to do? Is it a change of your hair? Whatever it is, I'm hearing, it's time to do that. And also, you have to believe in the impossible. Because once in a blue moon, everything falls into place. And when you let your rebel flow, when you get the balance of the turkey, and the magic of the raven. The raven's no, I like staying there. They don't even want to move. They're you don't have to show me. They know what a raven looks like. They're so awesome. You know what I mean? It's once you believe in the impossible, it becomes possible, right? I know it's such a cliche, but it's true. I'm possible. Impossible means if you break up, I'm impossible. I am means I am possible. And whatever you are, you guys, and I'm hearing some of you are no, you don't even understand. My friends and family would freak out and I'm I don't care, do it anyway, because you know what? You need to accept love. number 39, which comes also out to the number 12. And look at that again. I didn't even mean to do that, but look at how perfectly the flame is like right above like the flower petals. Like, accept love. You have to love yourself first. You have to love your rebel. You have to love your weird. You know, I don't care what the fuck it is. I don't care what the fuck it is. I know I'm swearing a lot, but I just feel like that you guys need that though. Like, you need to be able to swear or say like, you know, whatever you want to say. Oh, of course. Because the wolf is here to remind you who you are. Oh, and on the next full moon, because when I pulled these cards on Monday, Spirit told me to go out and howl at the moon, and I just realized I forgot. So it'll be my homework too. So on the next full moon, let's remind each other if I don't remember. But on the next full moon, go out and howl. Howl with yourself, howl with your family, you know, howl with your friends, you know, whatever, you know, but go and howl at the moon. And, you know, it's interesting. The wolf is the teacher card, right? So you are a teacher. You are a teacher. But also remember when Spirit was talking about like pulling away, you know, from certain teachers, just remember, hold on. They want me to read this to you. Wolf, teacher, pathfinder, moondog of my soul, howling, singing, teaching how to know. For some of you, you're just, you know, you're afraid to move forward. I get it. And like I said, I don't like to use fear-based words, but I understand. But you're the pathfinder. You're the wolf. And maybe you're a lone wolf. Maybe you're watching this and like myself, I'm a lone wolf. But, you know, if you're feeling lonely and you're feeling like, you know, you can't do it alone, call to your spirit guides for your soul tribe. I mean, we're your soul tribe, of course, but you know, like people that are close to you that you can go and do things close to where you live, but also your partner. And if you don't have one and you feel like it's time, like if you feel like you've done, because sometimes, you know, it's just about being with yourself, you know, so you're never alone, right? I mean, Spirit's always with us. We always have our spirits with us, our spirit guides. So you're never alone. But, you know, if you are feeling like you don't want to be alone, then, you know, call out and ask for a companion, you know, even if you don't feel like you're ready for like a soulmate or twin flame or whatever verbiage, languaging. I mean, it's different for everybody. Blue flame, whatever you think. If you're not ready, then it's not going to come, right? But then ask Spirit to send you a fun companion. Maybe you'll meet somebody at a spiritual gathering or a coffee shop, and you'll be like, or even a store, and you're like, you know, talking about, you know, this or that, and you're like, oh my gosh, you want to go get a coffee? You never know. You know that new friend is right around the corner. So seek out, and you can be each other's teachers. It says in the Great Star Nation, Wolf is represented by the dog star Sirius, which legend tells us was the original home of our teachers in ancient times. Sirius was thought to be the home of the gods by the ancient Egyptians and is still considered so by the Dogon tribe in Africa. It stands to reason the Native American peoples would formulate this same connection and adopt wolf people as a clan of teachers. The senses of wolf are very keen, and the moon is its power ally. Ooh, power ally. I like that. We've gotten a lot of moon stuff, you know, you guys. So the moon is your power ally too, and I'm hearing in cycles, right? That's why you've gotten new moon and like the full moon so far, and then the blue moon, and also once in a blue moon, someone as special as you comes into the world. You know, once in a blue moon, people like us, you know, they don't come into the world, you know, all the time. Like we are here for a reason. We do have a purpose. So it says, the moon is the symbol of psychic energy or the unconscious that holds the secrets of knowledge and wisdom. Baying at the moon may be an indication of Wolf's desire to connect with new ideas which are just below the surface of consciousness. Wolf medicine empowers the teacher within us all to come forth and aid the children of Earth in understanding the great mystery in life. If you have drawn Wolf's card, you may be able to share your personal medicine with others. Your intuitive side may also have an answer or teaching for your personal use at this time. As you feel Wolf coming alive within you, you may wish to share your knowledge by writing or lecturing or information that will help others better understand their uniqueness or path in life. It is in the sharing of great truths that the consciousness of humanity will attain new heights. Wolf could also be telling you to seek out lonely places that will allow you to see your teacher within. In the aloneness of a power place, devoid of other humans, you may find the true you. Look for teachings no matter where you are. Wolf would not come to you unless you requested the appearance of the tribe's greatest teacher. 5339, when I looked down, they said, look at the number. I love all these numbers. So the next one is, look at this in the waxing crescent moon. How pretty. Have faith in your dreams. Have faith in your dreams, little rebel. Have faith in your dreams. Faith wants to be seen. They're like, there, have faith in your dreams. Because in the medicine cards, there are 9 empty. See how the wolf is in there and the ant, the raven, how they're all in the moon? Well, when it's, so it can be upright. Sorry, it can be upright or it can be reversed. But this came in reverse. And for some of you, you were meant to see that lightning bolt. Apparently that means something to you. Very cool. And when it's in reverse like that, for me, I see the draining of dreams. I see this card for me, I see many things. And they always say, like, when it's in the upright position or even in the, like what's in here? Like, what is it from your past life, from your wars and your battles? Like, what is it? When it's in there and you can face it and you can thank it, because we have to have gratitude, even for the shitty stuff. We have to have gratitude because, and I don't like to use words like have to, but it's a necessity because that's how we heal. Once we thank it, that's why they said earlier, to make that list. Like what, even if something horrible happened, there's always something that comes out of it. Even if it's like the worst, somebody will tell you a story how like, oh, I got a flat tire and it was a snowstorm and blah, 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 but then they're like, oh, but you know what? I actually ended up meeting this tow truck driver and he was so cute. You know what I mean? And you guys end up dating, you know what I mean? And that's just a cute little meet cute. I like those, but, they want you to look forward. Stop living in the past. And this is number 41. And 4 and 1 is about, it's 5. It's about change. And I'm hearing these want to go. Because they want the path to be more illuminated, so you can see like, look forward to what's happening, but don't look so far ahead that you're not like, remember all this stuff about staying, centered and focused and being present. I'll tell you guys, whenever I'm having a meltdown, which I've been having a lot of them lately, because it's the end of a cycle and that's normal. Everything you're feeling right now is normal. It's so normal to be feeling what you're feeling and whatever quote unquote normal is. It's normal for you. Everybody's normal is different, but where you are is exactly where you're meant to be. And this shit is hard. You're a fucking warrior. This is not your first time, but you do need to put the past to rest so that you can move forward and have a beautiful, beautiful life. And in the meantime, while you're working on it, just be patient. Take your turn. Look at these cute little kids. They're so cute. But see, they're each taking their turn. Be patient. And 2 and 3, and it's interesting. Like you had 31, 16, like, and this is 2 and 1. Well, look up the number 3s. 3s are all about the divine, the Trinity. You can go on and on. But I like that this is 2 and 1. But it's off balanced again, right? It's like you've got one part of you that's balanced. You got a 2-legged, maybe you got a bench with just 2 big legs, so you're balanced, but like the other side of you is not balanced. And that's the part of you that's really impatient right now. And during this time, Spirit wants you to love your body. I've been going through this one too. This winter, I was inside so much and there's only so much yoga and shit I can do or whatever. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to get my body back into shape. And I've been like beating myself up. And then this morning I woke up and I was laying in bed and I said, I love you, body. You're beautiful. And I was like rubbing my legs in a nice way and just like thanking my body for taking really good care of me. So love your body. It's the only one you got. Take really good care of it. It's your avatar. Also, okay. Oh, they're saying, and by doing that, you can surrender to the divine. Another full moon, right? I don't know if we saw this one already because there's cards everywhere. But by the way, I'm going to list below crystals and stones for you guys to work with. So look for that in the notes below. But yeah, I mean, you got to surrender. You got to let go and let God, right? You just got to let go. Drop it. They're saying it's time to drop it. It's time to drop that dead weight. Look at her. She's letting go of it because she's like, I don't need this. I want to soar above the clouds. It's time to let go of that dead weight. Let go of the past. And by doing that, you can create. And by the way, drop it was number 3. Did you see that? It's awesome. And number 6, it's number 24, but it comes to the number 6. Create. Get back in there, you beautiful artists. Get back in there. Work on yourself. This is your time. This is your time. This may cut off. If it does, I'm going to finish up with something else, but in case it goes, I just want to say thank you so much, for staying. And if it doesn't go and it went to another video or whatever, then it wasn't meant to be said, and that's okay. So anyway, so wrapping things up, the Raven wants you to remember, have faith in your dreams, right? But don't forget your magic and incorporate your magic. And don't give away too much for people. This is your time. That the turkey's all about balance and the giveaway, right? This is your time. Oh, that thunderbolt. It's for some of you guys. It's like, or the lightning bolt. It means something to some of you guys. So be playful. Create. Have fun. Maddie's like, yes, have fun, you guys. All right. Well, thank you so much for stopping by, you guys. I hope this helped you in any way, and I will see you next time. Have a blessed day. Blessed be. Oh.